So we're going to go over what is a CRQ and how do we complete it. And like I said, this is a new kind of question that we maybe have not seen before. So I'm going to kind of familiarize you guys with it, and you will learn pretty quickly kind of how it works and what the purpose of it is. That's the general idea. So let's see. We're taking a Regents this year through the pandemic. We don't know yet. So because we don't know, that means we have to prepare as though we are going to take it. So that's the important thing that we need to know. Just because we haven't heard anything doesn't mean that it's not happening. So we have to prepare as though it is going to happen until we hear otherwise. So that's kind of how we're going to approach this situation. So here we go. All right, we got some notes here. I will give you a second, and then we will continue. Okay, so essentially CRQ stands for Constructed Response Question. So this is basically going to take the place of DBQ short answer questions. So you guys just did a DBQ essay where we got the document packet and each document had a couple of questions with it, one or maybe two. This is replacing that whole process. So the CRQs essentially are going to replace the DBQ short answer questions. So basically what a CRQ is a CRQ is a series of documents, usually 2 documents. And what you have to do is you have to answer questions about each document individually, and then you have to answer a question that relates to how those documents are connected to each other, okay? For example, if we had one document that was about the inequalities of the estate system, and we had another document that was about the reign of terror, you would answer questions about each document individually, and then you would answer a document about how they're connected, right? So in that question about how they're connected, you would talk about how, the inequalities of the estate system led to the French Revolution. The reign of terror is part of the French Revolution. That is how the documents are connected, right? So essentially, that's pretty much kind of what we're talking about. So the other thing we need to do is we need to iron out some vocabulary and what are some skills that we're going to have to possess in order to do well in the CRQs, and that is here. So I'll give you a second here, and then we will talk about them. All right, so while you finish up, there's a couple of skills that we need to have in order to do well on the CRQs. The first thing is we need to understand geographic reasoning, meaning how does geography impact the course of events, essentially, right? We, for example, if we were doing a CRQ about river valley civilizations, right, we need to understand that the flooding of rivers is the reason why civilizations develop around there. That's a geographic reasoning. So we also need to understand historical reasoning. We need to understand how certain historical events impact events that come later, okay? And how all of these things are kind of connected. We need to understand that. The other skill we need to have is we need to understand about source reliability. We need to be able to discuss what makes a source reliable or unreliable. And that's something that we absolutely must be able to do. Okay, that is a big one, and we will talk more about that. And then once it comes time to discuss, how the 2 documents are related, we're usually talking about turning points and cause and effect, how one document caused the events of the other document, or something to that effect. So this is the important information that we need, and these are the important skills that we need in order to be successful on the CRQ.